Hey, it's Eric with Jazz Wealth Managers. Let's talk today a bit about firing your financial advisor. Now, this is an interesting one because, I think that sometimes people are quick to pull the trigger on firing your financial advisor because the market's down. And I'm never going to sit there and tell you that you should just jump from one advisor to another because maybe your money isn't making money right this second and the overall market is down. That's never the case. What you should look at, though, is are you invested the proper way? Maybe your risk tolerance isn't aligned. Maybe it's just having that conversation with that advisor. I'm not wanting to sit here and bash advisors. I'm not wanting to sit here and tell you that you need to jump ship just because your money's down a little bit. But I did make a video on 3 reasons why you might want to consider firing your financial advisor. In that video, I talked about 3 different things. One of those was the fact that your financial advisor is trying to sell you all the time. If they're not a fiduciary, they're not working in your best interest, and instead they are trying to sell you all kinds of different products all the time, that may be something to consider severing that relationship. Or what about their investment strategy? Let's say that they are buying a couple ETFs or a couple mutual funds, and you could do that on your own. Well, why pay the advisor to do that? Because that's a simple approach that you can do. Maybe they're not providing financial planning for you. Maybe they're not doing anything else or educational content for you. So why not just do it on your own? And another one that I talked about was the fees. If you're getting charged an outrageous amount of fees from an advisor, I'd mentioned a company that I know of that will charge 1.5% up to $3 million. That means if you have $3 million with them, they would charge you $45,000 a year. Now, maybe they can justify that fee, but I think that's hard to justify unless they are doing all of your tax planning, all of your estate planning, all of your financial planning. And even then, $45,000 for one account is a lot of money. So that's all stuff that you should consider maybe separating from an advisor for. But again, don't just jump ship just because your money's down a little bit. Everybody's going to be down in a down market if you're invested in an aggressive portfolio, that's for sure. If you're in a very low volatility portfolio, you may not be down as much, but in the end, it's all in the market, and that's something you have to remember. So exactly how are you going to fire a financial advisor? That's what we want to talk about right now. So the biggest thing is if you decide you need to part ways. What we do here at Jazz is we actually handle the breakup for you. It makes it even easier if you wanted to do something like that. But if you're not wanting to do that, you're just wanting to say, you know what, I'm going to move away. Maybe you're going to do it all yourself. What you could do is you could always go to, let's just say this isn't, just throwing it out there, a name of a custodian's TD Ameritrade, Charles Schwab, Fidelity, any of those, you can open an account. The biggest thing you've got to look at is when you open an account, you have to open the same account as you had at the advisor's company. So Joe Blow Advisor over here has an IRA for you. Well, now you want to open an IRA at this other custodian. The reason for that is it has to be the same titled name to transfer that money over. Once you get that set up, then what you can do is you can actually generally contact the company. They're going to be able to help you with the process, but you're going to need a statement. So you're going to need a statement from Joe Blow Advisor showing all of your money, all of your holdings to get all of that money transferred over. It's generally a pretty seamless process. Sometimes if you have a company, especially like an insurance or a mutual fund company, American Funds, Hartford, Principal, any of those, sometimes it's a bit more difficult because you actually have to physically send them off paperwork to get it done. But oftentimes you're not going to have to pick up the phone and actually have a breakup with this financial advisor. You can part ways without ever even having to talk to them. And honestly, it's business. It happens. An advisor on the other receiving end of that should understand, hey, you know what? Maybe it wasn't the right fit. If you had a great relationship with them, you can always have a conversation, just say, hey, you know what? Here's what I'm thinking. Maybe you can work things out with them where you can still stay together and you both come to a good term on things. If that's not the case and it's just time to go on, you can do that. Again, I had mentioned, with us, we actually handle all the breakup for you. So that's another way you can look at doing it. But that's just a little snippet on how you can fire your financial advisor. Thanks for watching. If you want to watch more FinTips videos, click here. Be sure to like and subscribe also.